Yo, what's good, everybody? It's me, Keegan Rennie, otherwise known as Rennie, and welcome to the CCA. Today we got a wonderful match. I'm very much looking forward to. Um, you wanna tell us what's going on tonight?
Yeah, I'm Nasu11910. I'm going to be here assisting Rainy today. We're going to be watching U of A Axion Splatters against MS&T Splatoon Gold down in Div 5, a brutal match, 1-1 teams looking to progress their season.
But they both had a pretty clean set. 4-0, 4-1. Looks
Yeah,
pretty good on both sides. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna. I think this is gonna be a pretty close match.
yeah, these teams are definitely coming in with some momentum here, having pretty definitive wins in their last matches and definitely looking to kind of take a step forward to kind of take hold of their group in Division 5. Still relatively early in the season, we're only now hitting the halfway point where teams are really starting to hit their stride. So really getting a firm grasp of the top of the group is going to be essential as they kind of start fighting for those playoff spots. Only two per group, really tentative, but we're going to start on Inkblot Art Academy. How are we feeling about this going on to Clan Blitz?
Me personally, I think Clan Blitz Inkblot Art Academy is a pretty interesting map mode. Because like the clan baskets aren't too far away, but other than that, it's a decent map. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is a map where you can see kind of a lot of stalling in mid, kind of just a lot of playing for clams, but once you get into those kind of terrace areas, once you get into courtyards, it can get kind of oppressive as we start getting into the match. Both teams looking kind of different on the comps. What are you seeing here that's interesting, right?
I'm seeing what universities, the Axion Splatters, they have quite a lot of range. The Dually Sculptures, Custom Jet, and Forged Splattershot Pro, they're gonna be able to. They're probably able to hold the Splatoon. I keep forgetting which universities we're at right now. MS&T Splatoon out pretty good. Sorry, my bad. I got caught up in the universities.
Yeah, no problem. But here, it's kind of going to be a duel to see if the short range can really get in and oppress that long range. You can see a quick kill coming in from the brush and two more trades. But right now, things are just kind of staying neutral as it's a fight for mid and a lot of forcing coming in for the side of MS&T Gold. They're really trying to force the objective here, while it seems like Axion is just kind of trying to play that longer range, punishing the brush, who's looking a little weak in mid, along with another kill, trying to fight for right box as it goes down. It's being quite a bit of a win for the longer range here, but they have to maintain that momentum. They have to maintain the space in mid now that they have it, as the clam is trying to go in, but gets eliminated right at the
Unfortunately, they were able to be splatted before being able to throw that clam into the basket. So it seems like they're doing a decent job at holding up the other team from scoring anything, despite the fact that they have significantly more range.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of could have ran that a little bit slower. They maybe forced it a little bit there, and the respawns were able to come in. A slower approach is definitely going to be nicer for the longer range comp, as the only thing that they really have to force any fights is going to be those dapple dualies who really have to get in and kind of pray for a kill, as the oppression is going to collapse on them really quick.
As soon as MS&T Splatoon Gold gets that chance to push up far into the enemy's space, it's going to be very difficult for them to fight them back out, considering how oppressive that their team is.
Yeah, the long range here just trying to kind of keep people at bay. Some trades are coming in. That's going to be the first clam coming in from the side of the brush. That's going to be an opening, but not too much to follow up on it, as it seems like Axion is just going to be able to stabilize here, not letting Quavo get much more.
Unfortunately, due to being locked out, they were not able to score any more clams before the time has run out. Pretty unfortunate, but I can see them making another push relatively soon.
Yeah, right here, kind of, again, it's just a lot of kind of oppression and different angles coming in for the side of Gold right now. That's kind of, or sorry, for the side of Axion. That's pretty smart on their side. Just trying to kind of take different angles, see what works, not trying to force it down one side. Quavo in the back with that big clam, just kind of waiting again, but it's going to be a lot of repetitive pushes and a lot of hope coming in as Axion is really just holding the space well. But you can see all these specials, or the win condition here for the side of the gold. And one is found there from the Jet. Quavo coming in from the back, spawning back. There is a ball, but not enough pressure in the front as the brush goes down a little bit too early.
Unfortunately, that pack was not able to get enough value to get their team in to make that clam, but right here we are able to see them score that clam and recover just a little bit. Unfortunately, not being able to score many more clams. However, that was a decent recovery considering all factors.
Yeah, now it's going to be a lot of defense here. You can see all of that territory currently just being grabbed by Axion and being held pretty firmly, but nearly a wipe. Axion not going to stay alive for quite much longer as the wipeout does come out, and now it has to be a mad rush to get to that basket and form a clam. They have just enough if they can get a little bit to Quavo, but the respawn's a little bit too fast. The opportunity seems to be fading.
Those duelies coming in from behind might be able to get them before they're able to reach the basket. Unfortunately not, though, as they're able to score yet another power clam, but go down 2 members in the process. And there goes the third.
Yeah, you can see that great usage of the specials, right? They know that they can be really oppressive to at least hold back Axion, and then once they get those specials, it's just a burst of kind of forward momentum to really get them towards that basket. And that's how they've been kind of throwing those footballs in. They've been kind of lucky with it, being able to just have enough paint and enough lines in order to really push things. As a clam isn't able to go in for the side of Axion, it's going to fade out now as 20 seconds are left, less than that.
Despite the fact that Axion has that range to hold their ground against gold, it doesn't seem like they have that power to get themselves in, but this Booyah Bomb might prove to be very valuable if they're just able to get a clam. Unfortunately not, as they go down 3 members and it's just their Jet left to carry them into overtime. Unfortunate on their part, going down in that wipe. Not a very good look right now.
Yeah, wipe's a little unfortunate. They did have pity there. They might be able to run it, but no, not enough time, and they decided not to take that right push. Timer's gonna fade out as it seems like they were able to throw it, but there's
that's gotta hurt.
Dreadfully stuck along with their timer as the first round is gonna go to the side of MS&T Splatoon Gold.
It was a decent attempt at getting that clam in last second, but unfortunately they were not able to throw it in on time. That's gotta sting.
Yeah, you could see that there's a lot of map control coming in from Axion Splatters, but it was really kind of getting a little desperate once they got it. I guess desperate isn't the right word. They just got a little over-ambitious and kind of trying to push things when they could have played it slower for sure. Maybe played for a double wipeout where they get that first initial either partial or most kind of wipeout to kind of clear mid, which they're able to do pretty well, but then forcing some more kills after that to have a smoother approach into the clam basket. But that's going to have to fade away now as we move on to Splat Zones. This could be a map mode which favors Axion Splatters a little bit more, as we saw their kind of map control was working really well on Inkblot, and Umami can work similarly if they can just hold the map. But then again, you have to think of the flanks that you can take on opposite zones. That could play a little bit more into gold. How do we think this is going to play out here, Randy?
I believe that if Axion just has that control over mid and has their eyes on all options towards mid, then they could be able to lock out gold pretty easily. However, I can also see gold using their ability to take space to retake zone should they get locked out. So I'm interested to see how this game plays out. What about you?
Yeah, I think definitely with what we saw coming in from those specials from the side of Splatoon Gold at MS&T, I think that could be really, really powerful. There's some great approaches that you can make here with specials. You can have some great Zukas up from kind of personal high ground, kind of on the circle above uninkable. You can have really good approaches with that hammer that they were using, just going straight down ramp, and anything else, if you kind of take it from pit, can be a little bit of surprise. So I think gold can make it happen if they really use those specials to their maximum ability.
They were using their specials pretty well to take space against Axion, but they weren't able to hold that space very well. It seems like they used too many specials just to approach, but we'll see if they can recover from that this game.
Yes, a game of sustain here as we enter Splat Zones. We can see that long range staying there for Axion Splatters, and then the kind of a big comm change from Splatoon Gold, as they favor instead a bucket. They do bring in a little bit longer range with that bubbler, with the heavy edit as well. So let's see, fight for mid starts as middle podium is being fought out, and it's going to be a win for the for the splatter shot there that's able to trade, and it's going to be possession early for Axion Splatters.
Both buckets going down, and also that duelist going down right here is not a good look for them. Both of their weapons that are able to take space pretty well going down is not going to help them take control of that zone. But with the respawns coming in and that cooler helping out with that, this might be able to be retaken pretty quickly. And it seems like that's what's happening as the splatter shot on the other team goes down, but the blob goes down once again. Ooh, and the headed, and the, wow, duelist, this is just a bloodbath right now.
Oh yeah, Bomb and Wavebreaker are able to clear out top, but right here it's going to have to be the T-Tech, which does find a kill on the crab. That is crucial because that was really going to petrify the push coming in from Splatters. But instead, it's another stabilization. You can see right here, it's what Rainy was talking about, right? The sustain is just better, and that control of space is coming in from Splatters. This is definitely a game mode that's contributing more to their style.
That duelist drawing attention to the right zone might be able to help Splatoon Gold get that push in on the left zone. And ooh, though they do go down the blob, the duelists are still in control, not in control over there, but they still are alive, which might be able to help them take that zone. But unfortunately, they do end up going down, and it is just up to the blob right here. And as I say that, they got Booyah bombs. I should stop jinxing them right now.
Yeah, a little bit of caster curse, but you can see that the double soda isn't necessarily working too hot. Unfortunately, both of those were popped at the same time, right? Instead, they could have been mitigated. They played too back on it. Should have just kind of ran into it, knowing that they can get the respawn and jump into another soda. But right here, only 8 ticks left as it's a fight wildly for point. Right now, Goombas has to get the stop, but the crab is going to be demolished as the timer goes down, and that's going to be a map for Axion as we tie things up. Moving into our third map now.
And I think this is just what I said earlier coming true, is just these teams both had pretty clean victories previously, and now facing each other, it's a pretty decent matchup for both teams. Both teams are equally tied right now, and I could see either team taking this victory. I guess we'll just have to wait and see which team ends up becoming victorious.
Yeah, it's a really great matchup to see in Div 5, really seeing how kind of the play styles are really coming to fruition here, right? You have a really kind of more leaning aggressive team in MS&T Splatoon Gold. You can even see it in their choice of specials, right? Wanting to run the double cooler, knowing that they want to be aggressive and get in there. And then you have U of A Axion Splatters, who are simply trying to sustain, simply trying to hold, and make that essentially their offense, making their presence really what propels them towards objectives. So it's really interesting to see how these two kind of play styles play out, and it's going to be intriguing to see how it plays out on these different game modes, right? We've seen very clearly that it's been essentially wipes for exchanging game modes, and tower control is kind of a mix-up here, right? Because you have the kind of concept of, oh, you have a static point that kind of moves on its own. You have to take space around it and kind of approaching checkpoints, but then you also have the idea of being able to attack that certain point really aggressively from different angles as it moves. So it's going to be dynamic, and I would be kind of more interested to see how Splatoon Gold approaches it in terms of how they're going to want to attack the tower if it does start getting pushed. But we're going to get into match here. So Rainy, kind of take it away here as we start the map. We're going to Mako.
I feel like what you said earlier about like their play style is very prevalent here in this division. You see a lot more freedom of different players' ability to choose how they play. It's not really as focused on meta play, and I think that's really interesting to see how much variety we can see here. Like with which team is it? It's Splatoon Gold with the S-Blast and Hydra Splatling. That is definitely an interesting comp, and I would love to see if they're able to pull that off. It would certainly be very interesting, and I have faith in them.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how it's going to be played right here, because you have to get Tenebris out of that left pocket, right? And so Usually, if you have a comp that has someone who can be kind of aggro and just kind of push into that, you can kind of force the issue on the Hydra. Otherwise, Hydra's going to poke you out, right? But here you have kind of triple longer range. Seeing if you can get in positions where you can poke that out could be interesting. Quavo is in a world of hurt, absolutely getting dollywopped as he gets crushed over on the left for the tower. It's going to be a quick retake for Axion as they now start kind of taking that space around. Goomba is kind of found out there, but I guess the Booyah is going to come out. Goomba's trying to push forward, looking to get that kill, and does find it on the left. Great little push, really being a nuisance, kind of a thorn in the side of the Splatters.
That is definitely a very valuable kill right there, as that is in the path of the tower, and they're able to get past that first checkpoint, which is, again, once again, very valuable, especially right there, which is very lockout heavy. Unfortunately, their bucket does go down, so they might need to play a bit more passively right here, and just snowballing right down on the S-Blast. That is unfortunate. However, once again, they were able to get past that checkpoint, which is a huge milestone for them, and if they're just able to recover, then I could see them taking this win right here. But Axion Splatters do have control right now, and they have shown to have, oh my god, I cannot speak, quite the ability to snowball on the other team.
You can see right here as we get this really nice overview, the map control, all the yellow that's being put down, right? You see that the kill power really is there for the side of gold. However, it's really the presence and kind of being able to get that kill that you guys saw earlier there on the blaster at the bottom. That's kind of what you want to do with this comp, really force them out and have them in have the opposite team in bad positions. But eventually the breakout is able to come in from gold as they're trying to retake the lead. They're gonna get it just by a little bit as the bomb goes ahead, kills that bucket, which really hasn't been able to put down too many strikes. Unfortunate deaths right before the special, but that's going to be a kill up on ledge. It's a really dangerous ledge team here.
Yeah, the Axion Splatters are holding them off pretty well from getting too many more points. However, they are able to, Splatoon Gold is able to push past that point, unfortunately for the Axion Splatters. However, with their range, they might be able to hold them out from taking too much more space, especially if they can just get their specials before going down, but unfortunately not. This back might be huge though.
Yeah, this is a brutal second point to try to have to run through with all this long range. There's so many nice positions over on bats that can be played for the side of the Splatters. So it's going to be really, really tough to get to that second checkpoint and even more to clear it. But Gold does get pretty close to doing so, right? They are able to get just about there and make the progress move. But now it's going to be kind of some nice area. The back is coming in, clearing everything, going towards tower. They're not really able to get much push off it, but the VAC goes in and does try to clear right box. Or sorry, yeah, right box there. As Tenebris coming down, finding a nice little kill in the close range combat there. Taking that box right there, gonna have a really nice position to throw things onto that ledge, making life a little bit harder for Axion. But it seems like too many deaths just came in a little too late there. He's going to go back to Axion to try to make the push. Tenebris refusing to die, staying on the right and popping their own Booyah, pushing it onto right box there, pushing it out, but not enough to really get the shooters out of there, as it's going to be one more death going on the bucket there. Quavo not having the best game compared to those other ones, but trying to find something as two kills coming in. Really nice from the
bomb. Unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize off of that Zuka. If Gold is just able to hold them off for just half a minute, then they could take the victory right here. With two players down on both sides, it's really anyone's game, as the lead is not very significant.
Yeah, and as you say that, Tenebris goes down, right? Now is kind of that mainstay there right there, but Goomba's looking, guys to the back, too many deaths coming in, 46, looking to get the wipeout, and there it is.
Going to take the lead. Is Gold able to take this game back? It is looking very stressful for them right now. And they go down to it with the Zuka. This is just really unfortunate for them right now. Unfortunately, they will not be able to take the... Oh, wait. Nope. No time save, unfortunate. But another game given to Axion Splatters. Congratulations to them. We'll see if the MS&T Splatoon Gold is able to recover from this.
Yeah, Splatters there, up 2 maps now, and right at the end, they're finally able to perfect that formula of really having that space that they wanted, and even making it difficult for Tenebris with that really long range to get kind of value on the Hydra, which is really, really impressive. But that's ideally what you want to do with this comp. Once you get on that tower, you get to that left checkpoint that they had already cleared, really just getting paint into enemy base, into Gold's face, so that they couldn't do anything else. So tower control going the way of Axion, but that was kind of the most back and forth match we've had, right? That was really kind of testing the limits of these two teams and their play styles. And now we're moving to Rainmaker. This is a little bit more aggro, right? We're going to Humpback, a pretty flank-friendly map, a lot of approach to take on the middle hump. And so this could look like it's favoring Gold a little bit more, but what do you think is kind of the chances here for Axion Splatters, Rainy?
I don't know, that last game definitely showed us how head-to-head these teams are. Like, no team really has that significant of an advantage over the other. They're both pretty equally matched, and I could really see this game going either team's way. Now, of course, with the range, they could be able to lock the Rainmaker out. However, if Gold is able to find their way past the checkpoints, then it could be a very snowbally match for them. I can see it going either way. But I do have faith that Gold is able to take this game and once again tie the score.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that Clan Blitz comp come out. I think that has a lot of great potential to just burst out from the checkpoints or from pops with the specials, right? We saw a lot of specials being thrown on tower control, but I feel like the goal was a little more focused on Clan Blitz. So I think I'd be interested in seeing that comp coming back out, seeing that forward push really be central for the side of Gold. And I think this could go their way tying this up. Otherwise, it's going to be match point for them. So I think this is their best chance to really get things kind of leaning back towards their favor.
Yeah, once again, I can see this going both ways, and I feel like it's just up to the Axion Splatters to not really get tunnel visioned on that first checkpoint, because if Gold is just able to sneak around to that, there is a left route that I feel like a lot of people forget about. If they're able to sneak past that left route, that could be very detrimental to the Axion Splatters. Once again, with the very long range comp, this time bringing out the End Parry Julie is an interesting choice, but I can definitely see it being used pretty well, considering it is Rainmaker after all.
Yeah, we also see that the Hydra is going to stay. This is a pretty good Hydra map, right? There's just two really, really great Hydra angles here. You can see Tenebris is moving a bit forward, wants to force some stuff, and is going to get punished for it. But we also have a roller playing, right? You want to make sure you got the paint down for the roller there, and that could be really, really hard going up against this comp. So we'll see if it really does end up working out for Goombas here as he gets taken out early again, and Tenebris really decided to play forward. Not sure if that's the best play as the Empire's coming in and finding two crucial kills.
I think that was the quad right there. Damn, that you know what? That is going to be very detrimental for Gold. It seems like that aggressive play at the beginning was a bit too ambitious, but they are able to take down three members of the Axion Splatters. So if they can just retake this Rainmaker and get it to a check, then it really could be anybody's game.
Yeah, you can see Tenebris really taking that more powerful, longer range position, right, and getting value off of it. Keep doing that, Tenebris, and I think it's going to be great. Vac is going to come out here just kind of to clear things up right there. The Kraken trying to get right to him and finds two with one burst, as it's going to be a checkpoint going the way of Gold. Now they got to make it through the second one. They need to make it beyond 16, but behind is the Empire finding one, but the Booyah's going to clear him out. That's a trade. So now it's that forward push. Do they have the momentum to do it? Quavo getting in, trying to get Dimple. Not enough as one shot goes to the left. Goomba's really trying to find something as Tenebris comes back to try to support his roller player currently with the Rainmaker finding the dualies, but it's going to be a flank. That's the end of that push.
I would like to congratulate Gold. They did go down twice, an entire wipeout at the beginning of the game, but this comeback has been incredibly impressive. And though they might be down right now, playing some defense, I can definitely see them taking this back. They have shown to be able to take space fairly well these previous games. So if they're just able to get a few picks on the Axion Splatters, then it really could be a wipeout for them. They're just going to need to play a bit more carefully than they have been if they don't want to go down too much right now, because this checkpoint being gone for them means that they're going to have to be a bit more careful as to not let the Axion Splatters get past and get the knockout.
Yeah, Quavo able to find a good kill on the Rainmaker earlier, which really stalls out the push that was coming in from Axion, right? They didn't have the extra shots from the Rainmaker really putting in presence, but eventually they do recover. Ooh, a nice back kill. I saw that 2K in the back, but instead Goombas is going to come in and do the rest of the work, trying to see if there's anyone. That's going to be an expiration for that Kraken Royale. Goomba's a little caught out now, can't jump out, but is going to find the kill instead. And gonna try to make their way back. Yeah, really big, kind of playing towards mid here, but it is going to be the late kills. And just look at all that paint. It's really hard for Goombas to get around, right?
With that blob being the last member alive on goal, it is going to be very difficult for them to be able to hold them back. But it seems like they're doing a pretty good job getting the Rainmaker pop. Now, if we see someone pick up the Rainmaker here and rush it, this could be pretty good for them. Ooh, but that roller is able to get that pick right before the duelies were able to make any significant plays, which is a very big pick for the MS&T Splatoon Gold. Now carrying the Rainmaker, it is up to them to be able to, take this right side. It seems like a good idea. Nobody's really able to catch them. But coming from behind, those duelist clutchers are able to get the pick. I really gotta stop saying things.
Yeah, Dimple's able to get behind and find that pick. I find it interesting that they're having their roller run the Rainmaker. I feel like that could be powerful, just kind of being a defense tool for the Rainmaker. You see Goombas going down there early. Usually you would think that Tenebris would be the one kind of taking that, but maybe they've identified that because of the lack of paint, you might as well just put the roller on there. Not quite sure, but finally a lot of paint presence here, a lot of blue for gold. Let's see if they take advantage of it. You can see the Empires on the right trying to find something, but now their job becomes a lot harder when their team isn't bailing them out all the time with paint. But it's no problem as the kills are coming in.
30 seconds left for Splatoon Gold to take the victory. It is definitely very stressful for them right now. If they're able to get a wipeout, then it could be a game for them. Unfortunately for the Axion Splatters, they go down 2 members. This is not looking good for them, but they do have a significant lead if they're just able to hold out a bit longer. Unfortunately, 1 player goes down on each team. 10 seconds left. Let's see if the Splatoon Gold is able to hold the Rainmaker and push it far enough for them to get victory. But with all of these players coming in, and just collapsing and taking out the Rainmaker before they can make a significant push. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Not fast enough once we got into garbage time. Tenebris finally got a hold of that Rainmaker, but they weren't able to really solidify the kills and that forward momentum to really make it through before all the respawns came in. For Axion, the moment they got in, it was paint all over the map and not a lot of space for Gold to work with. It's going to be them really taking map possession throughout mid, essentially the whole game, and not allowing the Rainmaker to get much farther, as that's going to be match point for them. It's 3-1, Axion taking the lead. Splatoon Gold focusing up here, and we're going to go to Clan Blitz, which is the mode that they have won. That's where their single map win is coming from, and they're going to need to bring it again, as Museum d'Alfonsino could be interesting. Some good leverage points for long range on middle spinner and on personal spinners. But what do you think is kind of the win condition here for Gold to really stay in this match right now?
I think that their win condition is definitely their use of specials. They are really good at using their specials to take space. However, I feel like where they fall is being able to hold that space with their specials. Once they take that space, they really don't have many tools to hold the other team out, because the Axion Splatters have all that range to be able to lock them out from really taking more space and really taking advantage of the turf that they have. So unfortunately, they're going to need to pretty much improvise how they're going to use their specials to just hold their space a bit better and see this victory, hopefully.
Yeah, it's I think it's kind of going to be interesting here. We've seen a lot of ledge play coming in, especially on Mako, right? Mako is the ledge map in Splatoon 3, and there's some good opportunities to do it here on Museum. So kind of finding those approaches and maybe trying to abuse that could be helpful to push back those longer range weapons, which are really being oppressive in the paint, right? Just keeping them at bay and not allowing them to play their game could be an approach that can be taken on this map in specific. So we're loading in here. Let's see if there are any kind of weird compositional things. We're probably going to see that long range sustaining. As we can see, there is Axion. And then for the side of Gold, they're playing more towards that Clan Blitz comp, which we saw from the first map. So they're going with what they know works. And they're going to see if they can really force it and bring it to Axion as they approach match point with an early kill for both sides.
Quavo being on that Rapid Blaster deck, unfortunately going down, though they could be a pretty oppressive force. From personal experience, Jetpack on this map is pretty good. It can create a lot of space for them if they're just able to capitalize off of that distance. Ooh, but that would go 3 going down on the Splatoon Gold. That is not looking good. If the Axion Splatters are just able to make a clam, then this could be a really early lead.
Reef Slider getting the rare 2 kills there, and I think those were both just kind of rush kills.
Yeah.
So if you've been playing Sidor, you're probably used to getting those, but maybe not in match, as Drink Apple going ahead and getting Quavo, as that's going to be an opening pop for the long-range team, as the Splatters trying to hold space here, and they're successful so far. Look at how far back the team for Gold is being pushed right now. Finally able to find some kills there. They're a little bit late, but 56 already down the count.
They just need to take those other angles where the Axion Splatters are not able to kill them so easily. And once again, one going down on both teams. The Splatters do lose that basket. However, with their range, they might be able to hold mid and stop the Splatoon Gold from being able to push too far in and score a clam of their own.
Yeah, Quavo holding on to that big clam right now. Drink Apple trying to look for a little approach. You want to do that on the dualies, right? Kind of force some bad positions. But Quavo eventually does go down. Not enough help from the rest of the team. Another crush kill from Drink Apple as trying to look towards that clam now. Moving around, really being a great force. And really kind of owning this map right now. Unlike the previous clam blitz where there was a little bit of struggle. But I think right now Apple's all warmed up with all that paint around and really bringing it to that brush right there.
It's really up to them to force their way into the enemy's basket so that their other team can follow through and score clams. And right here we see the pack being brought out. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're able to get any picks before recalling, though they do have a... Ooh, I take that back. Yeah, I guess I'm just cursed. 2 going down. The Axion Splatters are holding out pretty decently. Seems like Splatoon Gold just needs to find their way to the enemy basket before they can really score anything. And that cooler might allow them to play a bit more aggressively without too much of a risk. If they were just able to get that stamper in with that clam, then they could be able to... Oh, never mind then. I stand corrected.
Bro, you gotta stop talking right now because you're really making it a struggle for the side of Gold right now, as Axion making their way back to the basket, or back to their basket. They have to defend a little bit, but double power, as you're saying, could be really dangerous if it gets in. This could really crush the hopes of Gold to continue in the series if they can do both right now. Being paced, looking in the back, trying to just throw some stuff in. No wave breaker to be found right now, but a nice pick on the right, as that's some bad positioning, but it's going to be punished back as the kills do end up going the way of Gold, and it's going to be a clear as the stamp goes through, looking for Dimples, but no more stamp for you. Instead, it's going to have to be neutral in the brush, and that's not a win. Quavo dying to that vac late as Torpedo goes in to kind of clear out Goombas, who's not going to stay much longer, but that is able to punish Dimples, who has really been a champion so far.
There is a lot of pressure on that heavy edit to hold their ground, but them going down in the Rapid Blaster, Quavo being the only one alive, jumping out, I would say, is the right choice right there. They really didn't have any space to be able to hold the enemy team out. So jumping out with 1 minute left, they do have a chance to score that power clam and possibly take the lead. However, as we've seen, the Axion Splatters do have quite the advantage with being able to hold mid pretty effectively, taking 2 out really quickly right here. That Stamper going down is going to be a huge lead for the Axion Splatters, especially considering they only have 30 seconds left. What do you think is going to happen right here?
I mean, Splatter's just doing such a great job of punishing all the specials that we were talking about earlier for the side of gold, not allowing anything else to come in. And right now they get to play their game, just paint the ground, just keep them off your ground. And right there you can see the stamp is just getting killed every single time. It goes in, maybe finds one, but instantly surrounded by two more. It's just not enough value. The paint is going to be too strong, holding out as Axion Splatters are going to take the win, not just for the map, but for the set as they progress this season, bringing it up to 2-0, while Splatoon Gold gets delivered their first loss of the season so far. What did you think of the match there and kind of how it ended?
I think that it was a really well played game on the Axion Splatters' part. Being able to take that early lead definitely helped them keep control for the rest of the game. And even though the MS&T Splatoon Gold really only got one victory this set, I don't think that it's anything to get too upset about, because a few of the matches were incredibly close, and it really was anybody's game. If they're just able to take this loss as a learning experience, then I could see them being a force to be reckoned with in Div 5, and they might be able to make it to playoffs. I actually don't know the statistics right now, but if they are able to make it to playoffs, I could see them doing pretty well.
Yeah, this is a technically a week 2 set, so kind of a remake here. But yeah, still looking 1-1, right? When you still have 4 more matches, you can bring that to 5-1. So, you know, kind of no worries in terms of taking a loss there, but definitely good signs, right? There were maps there that could have definitely gone Gold's way, and this could have easily been brought to 4-3. So not the worst loss of all time for sure, but we're going to play out the sets in typical CCA fashion and kind of see what could have been. However, the next 2 maps are Splat Zones and Tower, right? So I'm very interested to see Tower, which is going to be on Sturgeon, right? A map where you can take high ground, where you can hold a lot of that middle ground. But still, it does contribute to some of the approaches that we've seen from Gold. But before we get there, we got to start on ship shape. So how do you like to play ship shape, Rainy? How do you usually go to it? Do you think these teams are going to do something similar to kind of what you would think of?
I don't think so. I mean, as a 10 Umbrella main, I gotta say, like, the playstyle that I usually go for, zone shape, usually is very stally. And considering both teams, I don't really think they're gonna play how I would usually play. However, since it is a pretty narrow map with a lot of lockout spaces to hold, I think that Gold does have a chance to take this victory right here if they're just able to get an early lead. Being able to push very far into the enemy's spawn is a very good advantage that they could have right here, especially if they stick with some similar weapons that have that ability to just go in and take that space. It could be looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, we can see an arrow spray coming out and the double buckets there, the double sloshers, but I think this could get to be a little scrappy if Splatters isn't careful, right? The worst thing that you can go up against is a team with nothing to lose here. And with the aggressivity and with some of the plays that we've seen Gold make, that could be something to be seen here. You can see the Buckets just kind of playing back, trying to get some paint on the zone, and eventually getting rewarded for it as Dimples having to play on the right along with their teammates. But you can see the approach starting to come in. Quavo finding a nice little kill there, one behind, but able to take that left high ground. Really essential spacing here, really crucial positions to have if you're playing on this map, right? Those 2 high grounds are essentially what wins you the game if you can take control of them. Right now, Goomba's a nice kill there, able to hold that ground and essentially let their team get that continued success. Ooh. Bum, nice little kill there, really quick splat as his left ramp is being held.
Splatoon Gold is able to stagger the Axion Splatters right here really well, and though they aren't locking them out like I thought they were, they are getting a lot of picks in very inconvenient. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, like a very inconvenient timed pick right there to like go down right there for the Axion Splatters. If they're just able to recover from this, catch their breath, recover, and hold their space, then they might be able to push the Splatoon Gold out of the zone. But it's not really looking too good for them as they do go down. The Dual Squelchers do go down again, but they are able to get a pick on the machine right here, which could be huge, especially if they're able to get that kill on the Hydra Splatling. And it is a trade, so this is really anybody's game at this point.
Trade or maybe a DC.
Oh wait, that was a DC.
Yeah, as there
I didn't
is
know that.
one down for the side of Axion. Yeah, that was definitely weird to see on screen, but it is going to be actually the team down one player going ahead and taking that point back. But I don't think that's going to last too long. Gold liking kind of their chances here, and right now Tenebris is having an absolute field day, putting the powers on him as Goombas gets behind, looking for two, sees him, finds one, looking for the second on Dimples. Dimples has nowhere to run back in their base, and it's going to be
And
the rush
Reef Slider.
from the Reef Slider. Goombas right now styling on them, absolutely having a nice little day on the dredge and really being dreadful for gold. That's going to be Tenebris with the Booyah to hold them out as the timer keeps ticking down. Only 26 ticks left. Tenebris playing up front as the pit is the death zone for both teams right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, this staggering right here is much to the detriment of the Axion Splatters, and unfortunately, with such little time left, they really don't have a chance, especially with the DC. Very unfortunate to see right there.
Yeah, kind of tough there. It sucks to see. We want to see these teams at their full potential for full power. And I think that DC might have been a little too late to kind of like force any type of replay. This is kind of just practice, kind of scrim play at this point, though. But yeah, a nice little map there for gold to even besides putting the DC kind of to the side. I think they still were in very firm control of that just the whole time. So really nice to see from them on a map, right, which really favors positioning and possession, paint possession, right? Something that we've seen so far, Axion being kind of the connoisseurs of, and really the perpetrators of. Instead, you've seen Gold really having to force things. So it's nice to see Gold being able to kind of take advantage of that play style, really getting Tenebris in positions that they want to be in, and everyone else doing their part. You saw that the Buckets were having a field day, just kind of getting in the back, being really kind of brutal in their approaches, and it works out as we move on to tower control, which is going to be our finalizing map here.
Me personally, I don't want to call anything too early. I've had very bad luck with that today, but this is a pretty stally map past the first checkpoint. I'm not a huge fan of this map. If it were up to me, I think I would be very stressed out right now. I do not have very good luck with this map. What about you? What's your history with this map?
At least for my team, we do pretty well on this map. We tend to run a roller, and so surprisingly, the roller can get on some nice ledges here on tower control, and we just have good enough paint presence over in Div 3 to be able to do some good stuff here on tower control. So for me, pretty fond memories. I don't know, I can't really pinpoint why we make it work so much, but we get it going.
If it ain't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I'm saying, right? But we're gonna get in, and these two teams gotta get it going now, as they're the ones playing the match. Drink Apple moving back onto the shot. Just the basic shot. We are gonna have a Kraken Gal, which is exciting, from Dimples. And otherwise, we can see that the comp coming in from the side of Gold does have Tenebris still on that Hydra. Probably want to take high ground, move back there. Yeah, there you go, buddy. And otherwise, some good weapons that can move around on the side. You see that sloshing machine. The brush can get in really nice positions if they move around well. So this could be good.
The 3 picks starting off the game for the for the Splatoon Gold right there. That is going to be very huge if they're just able to continue that momentum and take more points really early on. This could be very good for them. However, their brush does go down. That might have been their player that is able to make some moves. However, with that crab coming out and taking that pick, oh man, that's like a bloodbath right there.
Yeah, a lot of deaths coming in there right now, being kind of scrappy as Axion's having to kind of force their way back in here. You can see chilling gaming right now, having kind of just a lot of free space. Goomba is able to find one more, and that's 3 down for Axion again.
This Jet Sculpture has a lot of pressure on them right now to hold the other team back and not let them score too many more points. Hopefully, they're able to hold them off from taking this checkpoint, if they're able to get past here, then it honestly, as I said earlier, it's a very snowballing map. They're able to get past this checkpoint.
Yeah,
it's not looking super good with them once again only being left to the Jet with the vacuum. It's not looking great right now.
Yeah, Tynan wasn't really looking in the right direction there, buddy, but it is going to be first checkpoints instead for Gold, who's moving on to the second. Oh, the stamps come in, able to find one, looking for another, is able to find it. That's 3 down again. Brutal right now. There is a Kraken available. Dimple's gonna pop it and gonna try to get onto tower right there. Just kind of jumpy jump, trying to make sure that no one else can kind of touch it there. Able to find Tenebrous late, but is maybe going to be a little bit of death as he gets collapsed on Dimples, having to fight out to the brush and the sloshing machine, which end up taking the advantage. That pack right there is going to be pretty good. The Vac isn't able to get too much besides clearing the site, which is going to be enough for teammates on the side of Axion to clear things up. Quavo trying to throw that booyah, trying to get it up on ledge, a little bit behind Tyan, able to survive it as Chillin' Gamin's going to push the tower again, trying to maybe see if they can propel a little bit more towards that second checkpoint.
With Dually Sculptures taking a bit of an off angle, might have been too much of a risk right there, as they did go down, and that left the Axion Splatters a player down, which really wasn't helping them, especially since they were on retake. However, just a bit earlier, with going 2 down on the Splatoon Gold side, wasn't even that bad for them. If I remember correctly, they got the jumps in pretty quickly, and going 3 down right here, the brush retreating, not able to do what I was just about to talk about, getting those jumps in to keep that momentum going forward. And it seems like the Axion Splatters are finally able to take some points and might be able to push past this first checkpoint. And it looks like they are, because Splatoon Gold goes entirely down, getting that wipeout. And maybe a bit of a late wave breaker right there, but, you know, they take the checkpoint, and it is getting incredibly close to taking the lead. If they're just able to hold this tower for a little bit longer, and there goes the lead. Oof, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, late becomes early there with the the slammer on the side of Splatters, as the Wavebreaker is only going to be able to tag 1 there to start that approach. Right now it's a dually 1v1, seeing who can win, but no, Chillin has to come in and break the 1v1. Where's the respect? Have we lost the concept of shame in our society? That bomb says yes, as Tenebrous is going to go ahead, clear out tower. But still, it's kind of equal machinery here in mid. Tenebrous putting down the booyah, throwing it down at their feet. Drink Apple is going to throw 2 shots, but instead take a death. As right now the advantage is slightly on the side of Gold, playing around, looking for that last kill on the right for the Dualies to stop being a nuisance. Get out of there, get out of the pit. The Fizzy is going to try to force the issue as Goomba finally gets the jump to go. And then Quavo looking for another booyah, going to try to force it onto the site there, so that Drink Apple has to be forced off. Instead, it's now having to fight the double long range up on the ledge. That's usually where the machine wants to excel, but with 10 seconds left, not much to do there. Goomba's going to have to be the one to touch here, taking high ground instead, trying to find something in the back. Does find the Vac. Tenebrous not able to touch.
That's unfortunate. So a very close game, and it really says a lot about these two teams. Despite the fact that Axion Splatters were able to take that victory pretty early on within the first 5 games, like, both teams were very, very good match for each other, and it was really anybody's game.
Yeah, we really got to see kind of the teams going head to head and really just being super equal on those tower control maps. Really beautiful sets from both teams, and doing great as we're going to leave the room now as the set is over. Overall, a really nice match to see in Div 5, and just really nice being able, again, see those play styles that we were talking about throughout the whole game, and seeing how they kind of combat and went up against each other. Really exciting to see what's going on in one of our lower divisions, but not low division gameplay for sure to date, because both teams really brought it out and put everything out there. You could see even in the extra scrimmage sets, right? There was no shame in their gameplay. They really wanted to leave it all out on the floor.
Yeah, definitely no shame to Splatoon Gold right here. They played very well, and they're strong team. I could definitely see them making it to playoffs if they just keep their heads up and, really keep their spirits high and push through the next few weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see as we get into kind of playoff season, as teams start scouting each other out, probably watching these sets that we're streaming here on the CCA channel, kind of figuring out how they're going to break that long range comp from the side of Axion Splatters, right? That's going to be really interesting to see how teams decide to take that approach going into the rest of the season.
For sure. I agree with you.
Yeah, of course. So we've been seeing some highlights here from the game. Really nice from both teams, but I think that's all we have for now. However, that's not all that we have for the CCA for the rest of the day. We got 2 more banger matchups coming up for the rest of the day. Later today at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to have a Div 3 matchup between Bash and Coyote Blacks. That's actually my group right there, so that's going to be nice.
Ooh, that's
we're gonna see them going up. Bash from Purdue, Coyotes Black coming off a little bit of a loss recently, so they're going to be trying to get back at Purdue's sister team. And then later after that, also tonight, right after, we're going to have Div 2 We Aquatic Little Creatures looking towards California Rollers. These two teams going 2-0 going into the, or sorry, not 2-0, 1-2-0 with California Rollers. We Aquatic Little Creatures 1-1, trying to find a little bit more as the teams go head to head later today. So make sure to tune in to the CCA stream later, because that is not all the Splatoon action we got, but it will be for now, as this is me and my compatriot Rainy signing off for today. Make sure you guys tune in for the rest of the matches. Make sure you guys play your matches. Don't forget about those. And otherwise, make sure to continue enjoying, as we will see you guys in the rest of the pool.
Don't miss later today. You're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be awesome.
Bye-bye, guys.
See ya.